this is the same conversation I have daily with my coworkers, and it gets nowhere. But to see a room full of people lining up to ask questions and to tell me keep fighting no matter what, that was exhilarating.
Let's talk about LaborNotes then. You know, Kishelle, you mentioned LaborNotes. Jacob, you were at LaborNotes as well. What was, I guess first, Jacob, what were you expecting when you were, planning to go to LaborNotes? Did you have kind of an idea of what it was going to be, or what were you expecting? And then what was it like being there? What did you do?
Well, I had no idea what to expect. I've never been to any kind of conference, much less a labor conference with other union organizers and union members. So when I got there that Friday and I went to my first class, it was a panel class on inoculation. And after that class, I knew that the whole weekend was going to be amazing for me. Like the things I was able to learn in there and all the other panels and classes I went to, just all that information and the things I was able to learn about what to be expecting in the future and this fight up to the vote and what to expect on the fight for a contract. And even after that, once a contract signed, and then the networking there, that was a little overwhelming. There's so many people's names and numbers I have, and I had to start creating notes in their contacts in my phone so I can remember who everyone is and what organization they're from. But I mean, I probably added over 50, 60 names and numbers in my phone just in those 3 days. But that whole experience was amazing, and I definitely would like to go back in 2 years when they have it again.
Do you have a favorite panel or favorite thing about LaborNotes?
Well, like I said, that first class, inoculation, learning all about that, because I didn't even know what the term inoculation meant as far as union organizing.
Right.
And so inoculation is just where we have to get out and spread the word to our coworkers about what the company is going to try to do and let them know how the company is going to try to attack us so we can be prepared for those attacks and know how to respond to them. And really, that was a class that was amazing for me. And we got some great ideas because I'm sure there's going to be another all-team meeting. And I won't say it now because it hasn't happened yet, but we have some ideas that we're going to work on doing for the all-team meeting that we expect that's going to be coming up probably a few days before our vote starts. But that inoculation class really stuck with me.
That's exciting.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
That's exciting. Something really practical and timely for you. That's great to hear.
Kishelle, what about you? What were you expecting when you knew that you were going to be heading up there, and what was your experience like?
So I kind of try to give myself an idea of what LaborNotes was all about by just going on the page and, just looking at it. And so I could see that it was big, but I guess I still didn't account for how big it really was. And so I came in on that Thursday because I had a panel early that Friday. And, it was still kind of quiet, but, there were people coming in. So that Friday I got up early to try to prepare. I ate breakfast at maybe 8. I spoke on a panel and the world just came crashing down. Like it was like confetti. Like all the people were more excited For me, I think the nerve that I thought I, was nervous, like people were cheering for me harder than I was just speaking, from my heart. And so people were coming up, can I get a selfie? Do you have the contact information? How can I? And I'm, it's like Jacob said, I was overwhelmed, but I was also excited that I said something and I spoke to so many people that, this is the same conversation I have daily with my coworkers, and it gets nowhere. But to see a room full of people who are fully engaged and to actually come like lining up to actually ask questions, get my information, to take photos, to give their insight, to tell me how inspiring my story is, and to keep fighting no matter what, that was exhilarating. Like you said, the networking, the atmosphere, it was unmatched. LaborNotes was like, I was exhausted. So, I mean, the 8 o'clock, I said that because I wanted to let you know the next time I got a break was 5 o'clock that evening, and I had to cut off interviews. I was interviewed by the Washington Post. There were so many different, there were people doing labor studies. I just had to say, hey, I respectfully decline. I just really cannot go any further. But if you can, just meet me in the morning at my next panel. So I wasn't able to attend many workshops because I was actually speaking on the panels. But just to read all of the workshops, and just to network with the people, and people, like, as I engaged or walked around, people were like, oh, you did so good. You did so good. They were steady coming up, steady pumping up. That big ego I already had, and I was already walking around with my shoulders held high because I felt like I was important. Like it was just a kind of a breakthrough that I wanted with my workers. It has not resonated yet, and so it filled me up so much, and it just made me so eager to hurry up and get back. But I wanted to stay focused on what was going on at LaborNotes because I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure that I networked and I touched every room, and to, give my full potential so that I could give everything back to my workers when I made it back home.
Well, Keshell and Jacob, really appreciate y'all taking the time. Y'all are definitely like celebrities, I think, in the labor world. What y'all are doing down here in Alabama, it's a big deal. Y'all are making history, so appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Glad I got to hang out with y'all for a little bit at LaborNotes. It was great. Anything else that y'all want to leave folks with before we let you go?
I just want to personally thank both you, Jacob and Adam, just for being a listening ear and just for having this podcast to actually have us come on. That has actually helped. I was actually listening to the podcast before I actually, as building up to LaborNotes. So I was, every time I would see you guys are celebrities to me. So to see you guys at the State House and then to get invited onto a panel and then now your podcast, that was definitely a thrilling moment for me. Continue to do what you guys do, and just get the word out. And any way that you can help or we can help, just by speaking, our stories, I'm more than willing. I had a personal conversation with Adam and Jacob, you as well. Whatever I can do to help or get whatever needs to be done or to help push your podcast, I'm more than willing. And just thank you for that opportunity. And you guys keep up the great work that you do.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Keshell. We really appreciate both of y'all. As Jacob said, you're making history. You are paving the way for workers across this state to make positive change, and we can do it. You're doing it right now, so we appreciate y'all, and holler at us anytime.
All right. Thanks again, y'all. That was Jacob Ryan, organizing committee member and worker at Mercedes in Tuscaloosa, and Keshell Liggins, organizing committee member and worker at Hyundai in Montgomery.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.